Welcome back to this bizarre Corona series. I hope that you enjoyed the first workout. A lot of you wrote to me saying that it was really good to move and to not necessarily have this like high energy workout, that it helped you sort of get out of a funk a little bit. And that was my goal, just to get you moving and to just get you connecting to your body and thinking about something else for a little while. So in this workout, we're going to take everything up just a notch, because that's how training works. We start at a certain level, and every time you do it, it gets a little bit harder and you get stronger and fitter. So we're going to be working on key movements like a squat and a deadlift and learning the proper technique. So you're going to see a lot of things get repeated over and over again, and then we'll add new things in each workout. The key to this is progression. Most people think that exercising is just flailing your arms around in random ways. If you're following me on social media, I'm talking about that a lot at the moment. It's not just about jumping around and just getting your heart rate up in random ways. It's about working systematically and getting stronger or in particular movements as you go along. So we're going to be working on that progression through strength and progression also in mobility, where I see a lot of people really, really tight and stiff. Anyway, let's get started. Come on to all fours. We're going to start with our cat-cow. This is always a good place to start. Just starting to move the spine, move the pelvis. As we go through today, I'll be giving you a little bit less instruction in the movements that we did last time. We'll just be repeating them and practicing them, and then we'll add new ones on for you to learn. Okay. Couple more of these. Awesome. Okay, from here, what I want you to do is just sit back on your heels. You might need to scoot your hands slightly closer to you, but not too much. Take one hand, put it behind your head, and you're gonna thread it underneath the opposite arm, and then you're gonna open up the other way. Okay, so these are spine twists. Thread the elbow underneath the opposite arm, and then open up and try and touch the ceiling with your elbow, okay? Bum cheeks stuck to your heels and reaching around as far as you can. You might feel a bit of a pinch in your upper back. Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these on this side. This is both a spine mobility exercise, what's called a T-spine mobility exercise for your upper back. That gets really rounded when we spend a lot of time at the computer, but it's also an opportunity to strengthen the upper back muscles, which is really hard to do in home workouts. I'll be doing my best to get some back exercises in, but it's not easy to do without equipment. Last one. Okay, other side. So put the hand that was up here at the same level as the first one, and just twisting around and opening up. This side might feel a little bit more open because you've already started to warm up. Okay, keep just a few more underneath, elbow underneath your arm and up. Okay, from here we're going to go into our downward dog. So you're tucking your toes under. We did this last workout. Bum up in the air, bend your knees a little bit and really push your chest towards your knees. Okay, you can pedal out your feet a little bit if your hamstrings feel a bit tight. Straighten one leg, then the other. Okay, and then bend your knees. Really push your chest towards your knees, okay? We're really trying to open those shoulders up. They get really, really tight in loads of people. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come through to an upward facing dog. So come to a plank. Plank looks like this with your bum and shoulders the same height, and you're pushing the floor away. What I see a load of people do is sagging like this. That's not a plank. You've got to lift your bum up a little bit, and you want your bum to be level with your shoulders. Okay, then come through. Hips on the floor. You might want to take your feet a little bit wider apart and just stretch out the back. Okay, those of you who do yoga, I might be instructing you a little bit different from how yoga does it. Do whatever feels good for you. Tuck your toes under, come back into the plank, and then downward facing dog. Okay, we're just going to go through those movements You're going to go from one to the other. So just hips all the way down to the floor, upward facing dog. Wiggle around a bit. This is a great way to start to open the shoulders, open the front of the body, and to start warming the shoulders, chest and arms up. My triceps are burning already. Just going to do a couple more. One, all the way back into downward facing dog, and all the way into upward facing dog. Okay, I prefer to go back and forth between these movements rather than staying in the same position for really long periods of time. One more, all the way back, and then all the way back up. Stretch as much as you can. Okay, good. Awesome. Oh, I'm going to leave our arms alone for a second. My triceps are burning. I'm going to come into that baby squat, okay? So right down into a squat. For some of you, this might be really stiff. You might not have done this for years. Remember, no clown feet. You don't want your feet too far apart. You don't want your feet too close together. Don't let your knees fall in. Find what's a comfortable distance for you. And like I said before, if you're really stiff, make sure you're holding on to something and trying to lower yourself down into it as much as you can. From here, hands on the floor, bum up in the air, stretch out the backs of the legs. And we're just going to go back and forth between these two movements a few times. Baby squat. I call this a baby squat because this is how babies get up from the floor, or toddlers. They sit there playing in a squat, and then when they're ready to get up, they put their weight on their hands to get up. They don't actually get up. They don't actually get straight up from the squat like this with their legs. They don't have the strength in their legs to do that yet, so they use their upper body. Okay, just a couple more. Awesome. Okay, we're going to sink back down into that deep squat, and from here we're going to do a twist. I'm going to reach up and try and touch the ceiling. Okay, we're going to be doing lots and lots and lots of twists because spines get super duper tight. Okay, this is our last warm-up exercise, like mobility exercise, and then we'll move on to the strength. Keep reaching round. You might be here, okay? If you're here, that's fine. Just do what you can, and each time you come round, try and go an extra millimetre. Okay, you might be able to go a little bit further. Oh, okay. Come out of the squat. Come and lie on your side. You're going to lie on in the Jane Fonda position. And we're going to do what's called a clamshell. Okay, this is a glute exercise. This is for your bum. In every series, we're going to do one dedicated bum exercise at least, because people have really weak bums. Okay, so feet together, knees together, and you want about a 90-degree angle at the knees, and you want the feet sort of in line with your bum and shoulders. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone. From here, you're going to open your knee up like this. Okay, you really got to try not to roll backwards when you do it. You're going to keep that hip one on top of the other, and you want to feel a little pinch in your bum. You might need to move your knees a little bit to find the best position for you. You should feel that bum muscle working really hard. Yeah, it takes a few reps to kick in as well. What you don't want to feel is somewhere down your leg. You might feel that as well, but you really want to feel a strong burn on that bum cheek. You're opening that knee as far as you can and kind of hold it for just a second at the top. Okay, so this is an opportunity. This is still part of the warm-up. This is just a glute activation activity. Last one, and switch over. Over to the other side. We'll do about 15 on each side. That's usually what people need to really feel the burn, but you do what the right number for you. So this is just a glute activation exercise, just to get those muscles firing, wake them up. They tend to be a little bit sleepy in a lot of people. Make sure you're not rolling back. Okay, that's what everyone does. They're trying to open as wide as they can and they're rolling their hips back. See how low my knee's coming up? I mean, I have crap hip stability, so yours might come up hip mobility, but yours might come up higher. But it's not, the goal isn't to get your knee as high as you can and roll out with it. The goal is to get that bum cheek on fire, okay? Awesome. Last 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sure we did way more on that side than on the first side. Okay, come and stand up. We're going to go into our squat. So remember, whatever was comfortable for you here, you can just check that. Your foot width is in the squat is whatever's most comfortable for you here. Okay. Standing up, you're going to stick your bum back and stand back up. Now, you might want to do this on a sofa or something like that so that you can always hit the same level. Notice how my knees are going out. This way you know you're always going to the same depth. Knees going out over the 4th and 5th toes. Don't let them fall in, okay? I see a lot of people doing this, or with their feet together doing this. It's not that, and it's not this. You don't want those knees to wobble in. You don't even want them to do a little wobble in. You want to really push them out over the 4th and 5th toes. That doesn't mean this, okay? It doesn't mean a ballet plie. It means over 4th toe. Okay, and if you want to, you can go lower than that. You can use a stool or a little box. I'll do that next time. Okay, it's a good idea to have a target for your bum, but you don't have to. Just make sure you're not going so low that your back's grounding. That's not necessary. Find the right level for you. Okay, last 3. If you're already done, that's fine. 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, upper body. We're going to do a walk out to plank. So at the top of your mat, if you're using a yoga mat, you need a carpet or just nothing. Okay, what we're going to do now, come down to the floor, full hand on the floor. Don't do this. And we're going to walk our way out into a plank. Now again, in the plank, you want your bum the same level as your shoulders. You're not here. And you also don't want to be, I see loads of people sinking in the shoulders. You want to push the floor away as hard as you can. Right, then we're going to walk back up. Full hands on the floor. We're going to do a few more of those. Walking out to plank. Find that plank position, squeeze your bum, and then walk back up. Hands down, walk all the way out to plank. And on the way back up, you also want to make sure your hands are on the floor. Don't do this. I hate seeing that. Get your whole hand down on the floor. Yes, it means you're going to be working harder, but it's much better for strengthening those wrists, strengthening the arms, getting your weight all the way onto your hands. Awesome, we're going to do 3 more of these. And again, if you've done enough and you're feeling completely knackered, your arms are going to fall off, then just stop. Last one, take a sip of water. And if you want to keep going with me, keep going. Okay. Maybe take a moment to have a sip of water. What we're going to do now, new exercise, Romanian deadlift. This is a super duper important exercise for strengthening the back. Remember I said it's really hard to strengthen the back without equipment. I'm just going to bring my heart rate down a bit. So hard to talk and do this at the same time. Right, Romanian deadlift. Feet hip width apart, it's not a squat. Then we're going to stick our bum back towards the wall behind us. Okay, you're reaching back and you're trying to touch that back wall. Knees stay over the ankles more or less. Back lovely and straight. You don't want to be rounding your back. Find a stretch, nice big stretch down your hamstrings, and then you're going to stand back up. Hips forward and stand back up. It's not this. Knees aren't going forward. That's a squat. It's a crappy squat, but it's a squat. You want the hips going back. Okay, this is a hip hinge movement. This is so important to master. So important to master this movement because tons of other movements are based off this. And we're going to build on this base in the next 8 workouts and start to really strengthen the back through this movement. So remember, bum back,
Spine lovely, lovely and straight. You should, if you can see yourself in a mirror, you should see creases in your shirt. Okay, so you can put your hands on your knees and just like do a little cat-cow here. Stick your bum out, straighten your back. That's the back that you want. So round your back, stick your bum out, straighten your back. This is the nice straight back that you want. Stand back up. Okay, let's do 5 more of these. Bum back, find that stretch. Nice straight back, stand back up. Bum back, nice stretch down here. Nice straight back, stand back up. Okay, if you're more flexible than me, you might be able to go further, but just make sure you're not cheating and bending at the spine, because that's not going to help you. It's not dangerous either. Lots of people make you feel like it's dangerous. Your spine's actually made to bend, believe it or not. And if you're not as flexible as me, you're going to be stuck here and you're going to be having a massive stretch down the back of your hamstrings. That's totally fine. Don't let your knees go forward. Keep them over the ankles if they're over here. Bring them back. Stand back up. Last one. That was definitely more than 5. Okay, we're going to go back through. No, we're not. We've got one more to go. On all fours. This is really important. The back exercise that we did last time is nice and easy. You reach your hand forward. Just a single arm bird dog. Reach your hand forward, really stretching out, really lifting your arm up as far as you can and back down onto the mat. Reach your arm forward, twist your hand to face inwards, put it back down on the mat. Remember, you've got a really scalding cup of coffee in between your shoulder blades. If you sway from side to side, you're going to knock it over and burn your whole back. So you want everything to stay completely still. I keep coughing and all of you are going to be like, oh my gosh, she's got corona, but I'm pretty sure I don't. But even if I do, you're safe from here. Okay, hand back down, reach up, turn your hand inwards. Okay, we're going to do 2 more on each side. Keep that elbow really nice and straight as well. I see people doing these really sloppy ones where they're just swinging their arm. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, stand back up. We're just going to go back through the important ones. So starting with a squat, this time I'm going to use a box. This might take a few attempts for you to find the right height for you. We're going to do 15. I'm going to do 15. You do whatever feels right for you, at whatever height feels right for you. Okay, if you're doing it off of your sofa, off of something higher than that, it's totally fine. You might do it off of a regular dining room chair. Totally okay. You've got to do it at your level. Don't try going lower just for the sake of it and then you're doing something like this to get out of it. I have no idea how many I've done. Okay, remember the feet, the width apart that's comfortable for you in a squat, knees going out over the toes. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. Seriously, I have no idea how many I've done. Okay. Kicking this away, I'm going to do our walk out to plank. Walking out, find that plank, walk all the way back up. Hold the entire hand down on the floor. If you do have wrist pain, like a lot of mums have wrist pain, you can try walking out on your fists. That might be super duper uncomfortable though. So if you find that it's too painful for your wrists, then come onto all fours and just do the bird dog that we did before with your fists like this. Walking back up. Remember to find that plank each time. Don't sag here. Bum up. Nice and tight. Whew. Last one. Okay, we've got 2 more exercises, but these ones are a little bit more chilled now. So we're going to practice that Romanian deadlift, bum back, try and touch the wall. Okay, I've got this socket here. I'm trying to touch it with my bum. My knees stay in the same place, but they bend to accommodate my bum going back. My knees aren't going forwards like this. So this is how most people do a squat. Like this is how Pilates, bikini body, all of that teaches a squat, something similar to this. This isn't a squat, this is a hip hinge. Also make sure your knees aren't doing this when you're doing it.
Make sure those knees are still going out over that 4th and 5th toe, even though your feet are hip width apart. Don't have your feet out here. You're not going to feel the stretch in the right place. So we're stretching out that hamstring and then working it through full range of motion as we stand back up. You can add weight to this. We're not going to do that in this series. I'm going to make it harder in a different way. Okay, 3 more. Bum back, nice straight back. Get those creases in your spine. No rounding, no reaching down like this. Bum back. Stand back up. Okay, last one, we're going to come onto all 4s. Reaching that hand forward. Okay, this is an upper back exercise. Well, it's also, I mean, there's lots of things working in a lot of these movements. Your chest is also going to be working, your triceps, your tummy. But we're mainly trying to get that nice pinch in the upper back. People usually have really weak upper backs. And like I said, it's super hard to do this, to work on the back in a home workout program without any weights whatsoever. Remember that scalding cup of coffee. Last few. Last one. Okay. Well done. That was the second workout. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me for the next one.